Okay, so I have to be fair here. I did an edit the other day about De'Aaron Fox's first three games of the NBA Finals, and I didn't like that the narrative was becoming on television that he was playing poorly. And I thought that the narrative was basically based on his poor shooting, and it was. And so I made this edit showing all of the little things that he does that are not making or missing shots that contribute positively to your basketball team. That was games 1 through 3. Now we arrive at game 4, which will be remembered probably as the De'Aaron Fox game because it was a calamity of errors. And so, since he decided to snowball into ruin, I have decided to take the time to return to the internet with another edit in fairness to show the things that aren't going so well for Fox during this playoffs. So, I give to you the evidence. All right, let's take a look at some of the threes that Fox made in this game that looked like he was starting to get his offense finally going. Here's Fox at the top. He's going to come around. Very simple action here and just take a typical kind of casual Fox jumper. Shamit's on him. He loves when Shamit's on him. Drills it. Okay, early in the second, Spurs run simple action for Fox to get an easy corner three here. Wemby's going to come set this screen here. Dylan Harper is going to send an easy pass to Champagnie, who's right here, who's going to pass it to Fox in the corner for an easy shot. Screen, swing, easy money. This is the third three that he makes in the game, and I think this is a good example of why it's a make or miss league, because I don't think it's like a particularly amazing action or anything like that, but he makes the shot and everybody moves on. Here's Fox at the top of the key. He's going to float his way down here to the corner where he wants to be so he can take shorter threes. Going to switch places with Champagnie as Harper relocates to the top of the key, and they look for Fox in the corner. Fox relocates. They swing, swing again. Okay, and now Fox has a matchup that he likes with Shamit. Takes a really difficult shot here with this like rocker step back, but he makes it. And that's the third three he's made in this game. So at this point, he's, feeling himself. But I'm showing you this three because he misses threes like this all the time. But, when he makes it, it's all good. Make or miss league. Okay, both teams are struggling to find consistency with their main ball handler. And why is that? Well, let's talk through some of the decision process that has to happen for the point guard. So you can see how mentally taxing it is for whoever has to bring up the ball and settle them into offense. Here's Fox, okay? He's got Landry Shamet on him, but he knows that the whole goal of the offense is to really attack Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is over here, okay? Wemby's going to set a screen, and Fox is going to hunt Brunson to see if he can get a one-on-one matchup with him. First screen comes, boom. Now Brunson does a proper thing and shows, okay? He's showing himself to be a defender. Showing means he's going to like pretend to defend and then actually leave him. At this moment, Fox is wondering if Brunson's going to be his primary defender. If so, he's going to try to dribble past him or do one of his step back threes because Brunson really doesn't have the lateral quickness to stay with him. Okay, but see, he bobbles the ball there for a second. Now he probably bobbled it because he was like thinking, is Brunson on me or not? And all these decisions are going on in your head. Instead, he decides he's going to pass it back to Champagnie because Champagnie, in theory, has Brunson on him, and the whole point of the offense is to hunt Brunson, right? Well, wrong. Champagnie does a little hot potato and gives the ball right back to De'Aaron Fox. The little hot potato thing seems common with the Spurs, as on a lot of plays, it seems like nobody wants that smoke. Nobody wants to run the offense. Anyway, they settle in to their kind of typical Spurs actions here, and Wemby sets a simple screen for De'Aaron Fox to dribble around, and eventually he's going to pass it over here to Champagnie, who's being loosely guarded by Brunson because that's what he does is loosely guard. Both Shamit and Cat roll with Fox, and this is just, the decision tree that point guards have to do. And Fox is skilled enough and aware enough that he knows both those people roll with him, so somebody's open, and that person's Champagnie. That person is also happened to be guarding by Brunson, who doesn't do a lot of guarding on defense. Okay? Even though they don't make the shot because OG Anunoby is incredible and closed out, it was a good look, and it was about as clean as they're getting from their point guards right now on the Spurs. So, as much as I love Dylan Harper, like so many of us, he's an incredible 20-year-old rookie who is showing out on this stage. I don't think it's as simple as to say, why not just play Dylan Harper all of the minutes that De'Aaron Fox is and just bench De'Aaron Fox, trade De'Aaron Fox, etc. This is why, okay? Castle's going to come, set an easy screen for Harper as a first action. The Knicks are on a 13-0 run. Wemby and Fox are on the bench. This is a really important time for a backup point guard to come into the game and steady the ship and get a good shot. Instead, he takes the first action, okay, doesn't look at anything else, and then just goes straight at the entire Knicks squad in the paint. He would go on to turn it over. Tough when you need production from your point guard in important moments. Okay, here's a play from the first quarter with Dylan Harper running the offense. And I think an area of improvement for him is going to be just kind of simply getting past the first action. Here is going to be the first screen. And, if it's not there, it's not there. You don't have to force things. So the screen comes and he's going to kind of get trapped. And now he's trapped because he has uh, Robinson guarding him. He has Bridges all over him. He has OG right here. He has nowhere to go. So instead of having a backup plan, he just doubles down and gets packed at the rim, right? This is stuff that loses trust in your coaches when they just want you to run the offense. Okay, back to the third quarter when the Spurs were bleeding profusely from their 29-point lead. All right, this is just kind of casual, kind of pickup basketball. Vassell's going to come with the intention of setting a screen, but Harper is just gonna dribble back here and just take a step back three because it's like another day at LA Fitness, right? Airball. He's super good. He's super athletic. He can do amazing things, but that shot could have been De'Aaron Fox. It would have been the same difference. Okay, so this is where it starts getting bad for Fox. Look, I ate a lot of crow today for defending Fox in the first three games of the finals, but my point remains. There are things other than making or missing shots that contribute to the basketball game, okay? He was rotating well, he was running the offense, he was moving into space, and his shot was starting to come around. So I thought by the end of game three, which he had a solid fourth quarter, that would carry over to game four and not become this disaster, calamity, collapse that is whatever this is, okay? Now this I think is it's talking about the Spurs kind of overall. Okay, Castle wants no part of running the offense. Okay, and frankly, Wemby also wants no part of running the offense. And frankly, neither does Fox. Okay, so they're all trying to get out of the responsibility of running this offense, but they should all be paying attention to Fox, and Fox should be paying attention to them. This is without a doubt one of the worst turnovers I've seen on any level, especially at the NBA Finals. All right, so now we're late in the fourth, okay, and I don't know what it's like to be an NBA player, but I imagine there's a lot of pride involved. And I'm starting to think it was at this play that I started to think that Fox here is determined to score on Ananobi here. Okay, and I think this is a foolish endeavor. I've never been an NBA player, so I don't know what it's like to feel that athletic. And maybe, deep down in his heart of hearts, he thinks he can like beat him off the dribble and makes moves and whatever, but it hasn't worked out well. Um, Wemby comes and sets a screen for him. He kind of ignores it. The other Spurs are over here avoiding the play. So what does Fox do? Try to cross Ananobi over. That didn't work. Dribbled off his foot. Okay, now I think this is even worse. You just dribbled off dude's foot. And now he's just going to go straight at him. Now, I thought he was trying to get to his sweet spot here where he hit the game three shot. But nope, he's going to go ahead and just take an LA Fitness pull up three. I got to tell you, that was not smart basketball from the best option they have at point guard. Okay, and this play I think is just completely bizarre. I do not know what Wemby was thinking on this play. I do not know what Fox was thinking on this play. I have it in slow motion so we can really enjoy this ridiculousness. Okay, Harper comes to set a screen here because, as usual, we're targeting Brunson. We're hoping to involve him in every action possible so that we can exploit his lack of defense. Brunson does his thing, he shows, but he's going to go back to his man because he doesn't actually want any part of covering Fox. So now Fox has OG on him, the best defender on the Knicks. Okay, not great. So he thinks that Wemby's going to come set a screen for him, and then, Fox can drop it off to Wemby and get out of this terrible assignment that is OG guarding him. But Wemby does the weirdest thing. He comes, he sets the screen, and then he slips it, but he just is looking away. And Fox has this terrible habit of getting in the air on closeouts. He gambles when he's trying to steal the ball. He tries to block, and he's just always getting stuck in the air. So he gets stuck in the air here, and it is an awful turnover with 2 minutes left in the game. But if we're giving out, pieces of the pie of blame, I'm not sure who deserves the higher percentage of, blame pie there. Was it Fox or was it Wemby's fault? I'd say both. Therefore, everyone's fault. Therefore, the Spurs' fault. Therefore, the coach's fault. I don't know. All right, and for good measure, let's include something good that Fox did in this game. Poor guy, after this complete roast of an edit. So, but we're being fair here, right? I did an edit of the things he's doing good and an edit of the things that didn't go so well here in this game. All right, but here he is playing some good lock-up defense. Here's Fox here. Okay, he's currently on Alvarado. Okay, but he's paying attention to Brunson, and they're going to switch this nice and smooth. Great switch. And now he's right with Brunson. Real nice job of moving your feet and not just using your hands. Cuts him off and completely ruins Brunson's life there. So that was about the, other than hitting a few threes at the beginning, is probably the only thing that Fox did right in this whole game. All right, and then here's the second to last shot that Fox takes. Again, I really think that he has something personal about really wanting to score on OG. And to be fair to him, this area of the floor is where he hit a game winner just one game ago. But no actions involved, just one on one isolation basketball, and just feels a little LA Fitness to me. Now, this is a solid looking shot, in the area of the floor that he can mostly hit the shot up, but it's a good contest from OG Ananobi, and it probably just wasn't worth the risk. Comes up short. He hasn't been hitting the shot consistently enough to be, I think, taking it in an isolation situation like that at the end of the game. All right, and then there's this little gem of a clip. Ugh. The play that will live in infamy. Okay. Brunson, by the way, had a lot of trouble getting a shot off here and plays a little hot potato with Cat. But moving on, this is not about Brunson. Wemby with the incredible contest. Look at this contest that he gets. Okay, and here's where things get crazy. The ball bounces, Harper tips it, and here is De'Aaron Fox, and here is Cat, and here is OG Ananobi, and the ball is here. And now De'Aaron Fox deserves credit for being the first one to this 50-50 ball. He tips it out, and this moment right here, you know, I think it's very easy for us as fans to say, the right thing to do is dribble out the clock and all this. But, he's at MSG. He's probably dreamed of being a ball player his whole life. This guy was a lottery draft pick, you know, and he's thinking right here in this moment, I mean, I'm assuming that, here comes all of the glory. He's got what seems like OG's behind him and the ball's way in front of him. He's known as one of the fastest players in the league. So I think this is just kind of like a case where your body thinks you can do something, or your mind thinks you can do something that your body can't, because you can already see that OG caught up to him very quickly. But again, it's so easy for us to sit here and judge and say that he was selfish and greedy. Pride matters a lot to these guys. Where they stand in NBA history matters a lot to these guys. And if he would have made that layup, he would have saved the day. He would have been like, the Spurs collapsed, but then Fox saved the day. All that probably flashed in his mind, and in a split second, he made a difficult decision. It doesn't bother me as some of the earlier LA Fitness shots that he takes. Now, he does do something good on this play, believe it or not, okay? He's the only one that realizes that they have a foul to give, okay? Castle definitely doesn't realize it, okay? So, to save his error, he goes and he fouls Alvarado as his one saving grace from a pretty terrible game four.